Hi, folks. I'm John Mullen, the Energy Evangelist, and today I'm with my colleague, Laura.
Hi, the Queen of Green at Heart here.
Yay! So today we're talking about actually just checking your bills. So many times I go and have a chat with different clients, and they just hand me bits of paper, and it's always the same. You have to start going through literally line by line, but it's the little things to go looking for, and sometimes it can be a few pence that you find there's errors in the bill. Because on one client just a few days ago, I went looking, and actually, there was, if you added it up over a year, there was close to 15 grand. So
that's somebody's wage for
yeah,
an entire year.
Exactly. And all of a sudden you start to realize, excuse me?
Or the price of a car.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of money to save.
But the thing is, you can claim back some of these faults for up to 4 years. So it might add up to 40, 50, 60 grand in some businesses. Other businesses, it'll be a few hundred quid, but quite often it'll be a few £1,000s. And it's actually really easy to spot some of the mistakes.
But it's only easy if you know how.
Exactly. But it's simple little things like if you're on a half-hourly meter and you understand those words, you'll know what to go looking for. But there, in your price breakdown, there will be a capacity charge or a peak charge. And most businesses will be sitting at maybe 30 kilowatts, which isn't actually that high. But if you go to the likes of a residential care home, it might be up to 100 kVA. And then the money starts to kick in. However, with this client, I was telling Laura earlier, they were marked down as having 2,400 kVA. And you go, that's enough to charge an iron foundry. And that's an awful lot of energy. That's enough for an estate of maybe 100 houses, all pulling energy at tea time with their ovens on.
Yeah.
So do you think that's worthwhile?
I wouldn't pay for that. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I think there is a bit of a myth with that and I've heard this one before about how if you actually reduce your kVA capacity, you can't put it back up again.
It's all taken as an average over the previous 12 months.
Yeah.
So whatever you actually end up, so if you end up rising slightly, they will increase that, and they will keep increasing it until they get it right, because they want to know how much you actually need, because they want to charge you.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I mean, in that case, you could have halved that kVA and they'd have still had more than enough.
Yeah.
It's actually money in your pocket.
Whenever I went into the fine detail and actually looked at their past 12 months, they actually had a rating of 81 as opposed to 2,400.
That's a bit of a difference.
Yes, exactly. Nearly 300 times less. But yet they've probably been paying for that over the last 3-4 years.
And let's put that into context. I mean, if you were going to increase the price of the product that you sell or the service that you provide by 300%, would somebody pay that for the same service and the same product? Probably not. So save money somewhere else in your business.
Yeah. But it's just noticing the fine detail and questioning things. And and then actually going back and saying, excuse me, you owe us. A lot of people think that the electricity suppliers are always right. Actually, there's so many mistakes made, and you just have to be aware of them.
Yeah, I think it can be difficult for customers when every single supplier's bill looks different.
Yes.
To actually be able to understand those. And for some companies that have maybe been moved around a few times, if they've been with energy companies that have now gone out of business and they've been automatically moved, you're then getting a new set of bills that look different. The information's in different places.
Yeah.
It's no wonder people get lost with the information and in the information. So having somebody that is able to interpret that for you is really beneficial and just saves you time and money in the first place.
Even if it's just checking it once a year, that's the simple thing. And it's an easy process. It takes not that an awful lot of amount of time, but it's usually having to trawl through multiple layers and multiple pieces of information spread across all these invoices.
Yeah.
But it's worthwhile.
Absolutely. And it's not just energy, you know, there's savings to be made in water bills as well, and making sure that the charges you're being charged for your water are correct. You know, is it just surface water charge? Do you have anything that goes into your product? Does it return to sewer? You know, there's lots of different things that can be looked at within your business and on your bills that can actually save you money.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, it's your money. Instead, why are you giving money away to somebody else? So you don't want that to happen. That money should be in your cash flow or in your pockets, and it'll help you a lot more instead of feeding a monster called the energy suppliers. They know how to charge, so we need to take back control and get it right for you.
Absolutely.
So that's enough for today. And we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.